Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Tyler_TCG back at it again with another video, and I just finished up an OTS Championship at my local Kirwans Game Stores in Catskill, New York. We had about 13 players, so a little bit of a smaller OTS Championship, but we were able to snag third place, getting the really cool trophy, getting the invite for the NAWCQ. And I just figured I'd show you guys the deck I played this weekend. I chose to play Kashtira PUNK. I had the option to play either pure PUNK or just a different variant of Punk. I just like Kashtira PUNK right now because I just feel it has less things it loses to, and it helps build more of a negation that the pure Kashtira deck doesn't. But yeah, let's get right in the deck profile, and I want to give a huge shout out to both Zach Butler, YGO, my coach, my friend Steve, and just all my friends, my friend Seabass and everybody, for helping me go back and forth with deck ideas and choices and stuff like that. So starting off with the Punk engine, we are playing 3 copies of Xiamen, 3 copies of Foxy Tune, 2 copies of Ogre Dance, 2 copies of Deer Note, and then we're playing 1 Madam Spider, 1 Wagon, and 1 Shirokuzai. These ratios just felt correct all over the whole tournament and everything. The double Deer Note does come up a lot, especially if you happen to draw one, and you just need a way to get an additional extender, which lets you special another one of your punks. Shirokuzai is honestly becoming one of my favorite punks, just being able to pay 600, fuse into a Rising Carp, or quick synchro into your opponent's turn into an Amazing Dragon and bounce some stuff. It's just so good overall, as well as the same thing like with Foxy Tune. The only thing I didn't really use a lot is Ogre Dance. I didn't really see myself needing to use the Ogre Dance effect a lot because I opened multiple punk names, and if anything, I just used it as like a discard fodder for Foxy Tune, or it's like a banish off the Jam Extreme session. But yeah, cards are pretty nice, and then we move on to our Kashtira engine, which is 3 copies of Kashtira Unicorn, 2 copies of Kashtira Fenrir, and 1 copy of Kashtira Riseheart. So what's really sick about these cards is they allow you to make an early Baron to Fleur if you open the correct hand. Like if you open, like, say, a Kashtira name, and like let's just say like a Xiamen, this already is a Baron de Fleur and can protect the rest of your combo from getting interrupted. The only thing I'm not really crazy about I'm still not crazy about Riseheart. Riseheart's an okay card. Like, the full combo with this deck allows you to end on like a Baron de Fleur, a Jam Dragon Drive with the Shirokuzai, and the Riseheart. But I noticed I didn't really need it that much over the course of the tournament today. I didn't really use a lot of the Kashtira the 2 Xyz monsters I played in my extra deck. And I just felt that I didn't really need the Riseheart as much. I thought about siding it out in a lot of games, but I figured I'd just rather have another name to search off of Fenrir in case I like draw the second Fenrir, or I just like get rid of all my unicorns somehow. But yeah, these ratios I felt were correct overall. And then we move on to our hand trap lineup. We play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. I played 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being, and 1 copy of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So these cards are actually really good the entire tournament route. I didn't really see Ash as much as I wanted to, but I saw Nib a lot, and Ghost Ogre is kind of the same route, because when you make your Synchro 8 for the Jam Dragon Drive, you're able to search a level 3 Psychic, which Ghost Ogre meets the requirements for. And this card's really good about like stopping Kashtira Birth, or just anything really. Or like a Runic Fountain, because there was a Runic player today, shout out to Zach Butler for playing Naturia Runic, so I figured I could put this card in to stop a Runic strategy or a Kashtira strategy. But other than that, and also it's another level 3 Psychic for the Amazing Dragon for when you Synchro into it. And now moving on to the spells, we play 3 copies of Merchant Teleport. I don't really think I need to explain this one that much. And then I chose to play 3 copies of Crossout Designator for this event, because when you don't open your Kashtira cards playing this deck and you can't make the Baron de Fleur, it's really hard to... this deck really loses hearts in Nibiru the Primal Being, so I figure I put this in just so I can stop myself from getting interrupted through hand traps or anything, or if I don't use it, and I'm playing a Kashtira player, I just set it during my turn, and I just flip it and either call like Theosis, or like Pressured Planet, or any of the Kashtira names. And then we are playing 1 copy of Jam Extreme Session. This card's insane, guys. This card is so good. It's being able to Pot of Greed after you pay your 600 life points for your Punk effect to draw into like mainly your hand traps, or follow up through like any of the Punk names, or like maybe the Kashtira names. They're able to clear your board or anything like that. I really like this card a lot. And then moving on to the Kashtira spells, we played 2 copies of Pressure Planet, Raceoth, Raybra, whatever you call this card. This card's super sick. It's able to get your play started by searching on a Kashtira name, so like more of the time you search Fenrir, and then, you search Unicorn get Birth, and then you're able to special the Unicorn after you use it for the Baron de Fleur. Or you can like grab a Fenrir if you already opened Unicorn or something like that. And then 2 copies of Kashtira Birth. This card's really good. I like this card a lot. It just allows you to get another Kashtira name and make a Synchro 10 if I was playing better Synchro 10s, more than just Baron. Also lets you banish 3 cards face down if you control a Kashtira monster. And just being able to recur Kashtiras is really sick. And then we played one copy of Kashtira Theosis. So the main theory behind playing the one copy of Theosis is just to make to add in a Rise Heart onto your end board, where just have another point of interaction. Just being able to macrocosmos everything is really really good. I don't think I didn't really use it that much. I only used it when my Punk plays got started, or I didn't draw enough Punk cards. And I just drew all Kashtira cards. So. And then for the traps, we were playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence and 1 copy of Dangerous Gabu. So I was back and forth on playing Dangerous Gabu, or I was back and forth on playing the Punk trap that lets you pop a card because it stops like stuff like Theosis and stuff like that. So that's the main deck. I believe it was 42 cards after I finished it, and then we move on to the extra deck. We played 2 copies of Rising Carp. So you played 2 copies of both the Rising Carp and the Jam Dragon Drive, as well as the Amazing Dragon, just in case your opponent has their full Kashtira combo and they have to hit something out of your extra deck with the Diabolus the Mind Hacker. But funny enough, the couple of matches I took this deck to a regional as well in Hartford last weekend, and when I played against a lot of Kashtira players, they never hit any of these 2. They never hit these 4 cards. They always hit like the Amazing Dragon or like Psychic End Punisher and stuff like that. But like little did you know that like Rising Carp is so insane. If they stop your Rising Carp, then you're kind of in trouble, because just being able to like not allow, like, he tributes for cost, but not allowing you to get 2 more punks out of your deck is really bad. So yeah, and then Jam Dragon, really good, and then this, oh my god, Amazing Dragon is so insane. When we were playing out the trying to figure out who gets 3rd and 4th place for the trophy, I played against a Trap Tricks player, and I went first, and I ended my board with Jam Dragon Drive, with the Shirokuzai on field. My opponent goes set normal summon the Trap Tricks monster, make Sarah set 4 pass. I go end phase, activate the effect of Shirokuzai, make Jam Dragon effect. I had 5 different level 3 psychics with different names at the time, so I just bounced his entire board and OTK'd him in the crackback. Then for other synchros, we're playing 1 copy of Baron de Flare. Don't really think I need to explain Baron de Flare. Psychic M Punisher. This card's crazy. I have such new respect for this card. This card is absolutely bonkers, and I love it so much. Just Psychic M Punisher control is a solid strategy. I did it last week, 2 guy at locals. I was able to just make the Psychic M Punisher and just keep making it huge because the attack gains stacks and everything, and he didn't know that. So then we move on to Xyz. Now we play 1 copy of Arise Heart, 1 copy of Big Eye, and then 1 copy of Zeus. Surprisingly enough, I didn't make these at all. I didn't make these the entire tournament. Actually, no, that's a lie. I made it round 1 against a Scareclaw Tri-Brigade Kashtira player, and I stole his Nibiru token, and I was able to attack and OTK through a Nibiru token. But yeah, I didn't make Zeus, and I didn't make a Rise Heart either, so. I mainly made the Synchros and the Fusions. I noticed those were just enough to OTK my opponents 85% of the time. And now here's something that was different than my coach's list. He's not really playing a lot of Link Monsters, but I chose to make Link Monsters just in case someone decides to Dimensional Barrier me, because this deck loses hard to D-Barrier as well. So I played 1 Asa the Earth Charmer, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Donner Dagger for Hire, and then 1 copy of Access Code. Like I said, I don't think I have to explain these. Like you can make the Asa with any of your 2 an Earth Punk, mainly Deer Note, to revive something, and then you can go like Asa steal their Fenrir get a search and everything. So that's the extra deck. And now moving on to the side deck, we have 2 copies of Artifact Lancia. This is for the Kashtira matchup, or even like the Runic matchup. They just end up milling and everything. 3 copies of Book of Eclipse. Again, this is for the Kashtira matchup. 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. I was debating Lightning Storm, but with Labyrinth and everything, I believe they have a monster that says that set cards cannot be destroyed. So I just figured Cosmic Cyclone would be better. It's also against Runic. If they have the Hugin on board, their stuff can't be destroyed, so I could just go like Cyclone on the Fountain effect to draw 3. 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance, 2 copies of Dimensional Barrier. D-Barrier is just for basically any deck right now, and then Anti-Spell is just for like Kashtira against Brandon and everything like that, or like Runic and everything. I'm noticing my side deck is built for Runic. I just never drew these cards. And then the last 3 cards are just 3 evenly matched, one of the best side deck cards around right now. Love this card so much. I was able to open this game 2 against the Trap Chick player, and he kind of just cried himself to sleep. But yeah, so that's thank you guys so much for watching the deck profile. This deck performed really well for the weekend that I had to play it against. I noticed the hardest matchup was the Naturia Runic matchup. It's just such a hard deck to play against. My rounds were as follows. I played the Tri-Brigade Scareclaw player round 1. Round 2, I played against Ninjas. That deck is really fun to play against. A lot of cool combos and everything, but it unfortunately loses to evenly matched, unfortunately. And then round 3, I played against my coach, Zach Butler, who was on the Runic Naturia strategy, and he 2-0'd me. Last round, I had to play against Kashtira, and I just didn't have enough follow-up after he broke my board turn 1. Then top 4, I had to play against Zach Butler again, and then in the match aside, 3rd and 2nd was the Trap Trick player. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have guys any suggestions, comments, or questions about the list, I'd be more than happy to answer them. But thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.